Hey, yo, whoa, we are back with another one. Another episode of Ansky's Opinion with your gracious, humble host, who that is. Your boy, the myth, the legend. No, stop. Ski. Look, we here, people. Let's jump back into it. Get right into the show today, you guys. I ain't got time for the fluff. Y'all know what. First thing we gonna jump into, the first thing I feel I want to touch on today is, did y'all guys see my man, y'all man, our man, Pat Pooh? My man was on Black TV, you guys. He was on Black television. Did an interview. Half of the interview was about 50, or should I say 75% about 50. That's the only reason why Black had him on it. I think he just wanted to see what he was going to say about 50, where, because he got this beef going on with 50. But, he the only one in the beef, because 50 ain't paying that man no attention, you guys. But anyway, your boy Pat, he went on Vlad, right? Vlad asked him questions about 50, And he go on his 10, he's speaking his truth. He feel, that this is his truth, So, Pap saying 50 been hating on him. He been hating on him since, I don't know when. He can't believe it, how much hate he had on him. He said he was hating on way back in the day when he was popping, when he was on fire, hot as fish grease, But I don't remember that. And I don't know if anybody else do too, because I have never heard about anyone saying that 50 Cent was hating on Pat Pooh. And I don't know if anybody else, but I think I heard other people kind of saying that his reasoning for actually coming at 50 is what people would think it would be with Clarissa Shields, because 50 been coming at Clarissa Shields. But I think he had a problem with 50 putting Remy on the AI thing, was more of his reasoning. How it sounded like he didn't like what he said about his wife, but I don't think nobody thinking about some years back when those guys were still together. I think it was a rumor out about 50 and Rem, like possibly could have been messing around, or Pat was like jealous of their relationship or something like that, like their closeness. But I had to look back into that to see a little bit more, get more information about. If I'm not mistaken, I think some years back it was some talk with that dynamic. So I think that's the real reason why Pat coming at 50, And then if you think about it that way, it's a double slap, in the face of Clarissa. Like, he didn't even care that 50 came at you the way that he came at you, right? But it's over his ex-wife, and then a double slap. I said it's a double entendre. It's about his ex-wife. So this shit is part of my friends, but this is crazy. But yeah, so my man's on there trying to speak his truth, trying to get his 15, in and going. Part of this big thing that is I think, dying out now, because I ain't heard nothing from 50 and T.I. and the boys and none of that lately. So I would say the beef, I think he missed that window. He should have jumped on it right where T.I. and that was going. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But that's my piece on Pat. I gave you a little shine on my show. You know, it ain't the biggest platform, but it's a platform, Pap. You know, so I did that for you. I covered you, right? I gave you, Pap. No, no, but my man Pap. So next thing I want to touch on, okay, I know everybody heard about it. Everybody been speaking on it the past few days. I'm gonna say, you know, it's not shot. You have to be living on a rock, not hear about it. So that's why I'm speaking on it. Offset being shot, you know, allegedly, as they say about little TJ after a scuffle, you know, in the front of the casino, you know, the Planet Hollywood, whatever it is, the casino. But Offset ended up wounded, and little TJ ended up in handcuffs or in the back of the squad, you know. But updates is that I guess TJ's been released. The show video of him walking out of the jail, taking his shirt off. I don't know why he was taking his shirt off and talking tough. You know, like, dude, you being accused of something, you know, like as serious as shoot someone, and you talking crazy and tough on your way out of jail and taking your shirt off for no reason, trying to look idiot. But anyway, it's supposed to have been something transpired, but it went back and forth. TJ saying that Offset owed him money, you know, for some reason or another, like whatever has happened. Yeah, he supposedly owed him some paper, you know. My man must supposedly got a gambling problem, they saying, Offset. But that's neither here nor there, but that's why I guess the argument and, you know, the fight started from was maybe somebody didn't get their bread or something with some bread, you know, at the casino, in front of the casino. So people saying Offset snitched. TJ even said it coming up out of the jail. But the video I saw, he said, yeah, nigga snitch. Yeah, I saw that thing I did. I saw him say, yeah, him, little TJ, he shot me, snitching, hey, little ASS, this and that. But dude, I ain't seen a video with him saying that about you. I'm not saying it's not true because I wasn't there, you know, but I would say that if that happened, you would see the gesture of him doing that on the 125 cameras that's outside in front of the casino where the crime transpired. He didn't have to snitch. You're on 100 cameras. Like, come on now, you know, if you did it. So, and then also, if you didn't do it, that's a good thing because you're on 100 and something cameras, you know, in front of there, at least 50 to 30 to 50 or whatever cameras at least at the front entrance of that place. So come on, man. Like with somebody snitching or having to snitch, or how done could you be to even do something or be in the middle of a situation unless it's some bruised ego? So maybe maybe the fight of him getting, you know, hands put on by Sat, you know, it may be true. We have to entertain that notion because who would react like that, especially in an area like that? Like I said, with at least 100 cameras watching you. But we shall see what this will end up transpiring into. Let's hope nobody else end up with any more, you know, gunfire. We're not promoting any violence, especially right here on Enski's opinion. I don't condone any of that. But I will say, I will be following these stories and seeing where this takes us. I mean, as far as him snitching, we shall see, you know, if he did. But like I said, he didn't have to. I mean, he could have act fake, you know, stuck to street code without saying anything. And if he did that to you, which he would probably know, it's on camera, a lot of cameras. So they wouldn't know. So that's my take on that's my take on Offset and Lil TJ situation with Offset being shot. Thankfully that the brothers, as okay, I see videos or pictures, still shots of him in a wheelchair or some type of wheel thing in his nightgown, you know, or the hospital gown. So he's up and alert. My next topic I'm gonna jump into is gonna be, I'm gonna tap back into our man, you know, the Shiesty family, right? I guess we can say that, the Shiesty family. But some of them have came to court. So I guess Shiesty and Big 30, Shiesty's father and Big 30 came to court. Shiesty's father, I think, got a bond for, I think, $250,000, and he was going to be released to house arrest or whatever to fight his case on the street. And I think Big 30 got the same thing, but his bond was like $100K. So anyway, from what I'm hearing now, and don't always quote me on this, but it sounds like they may have reversed that. Like they froze releasing them and letting them out to fight their case. But when I heard that, like that they got bonds and was gonna be allowed to fight their case from the street, you know, it kind of alarmed me, like to how strong this case is, right? Because like, why would they give them bond? You know, if you got a strong enough case of these guys, but you know, automatic weapons, you know, assault rifle, choking a white guy. So that's my biggest part. It's right. A white man got hurt, you know. So y'all don't understand what I'm saying when I say that. You know, you think it's a job, know how to laugh, but this is serious. A white man was hurt, was strangled to the point of almost passing out, losing consciousness. You know, that in itself is serious. So with them getting the bond, I don't think they would give them a bond just off the strength of that. Forget about the 17 Dracos that was up in the place and Gucci Man getting put to him and guns put to his face and him being made to sign whatever went on up in there allegedly. Like I said, I wasn't there, you guys. I'm not saying that this happened, but this is what they're alleging. So I'm reporting on that. And I would say it is crazy to think that they would give them bonds off of something like that. Or people like, well, you know, nobody got killed. But come on now, if they're not a threat to society with that type of the type of story that they're saying that happened there, you know, that day. If this happened, then they would be ones who would be looked at as a threat to society, which would be made hell without bomb. So for them to be even contemplating bomb, but I think they pulled it back for some reason or another, right? And they're saying, oh yeah, so, you know, with that happening, then they probably going to do the same thing with Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty ain't getting out anyway because you're involved in a situation and you're on federal parole. So he's going to go back to the federal prison. He probably in federal, on his way back to the federal joint as we speak. You know, he's going to talk to them through a screen. He's not coming home regardless. So it don't even matter because he's been implicated in something as serious as this, right? So he wasn't getting out regardless. So I don't know what they talking about, if they're gonna grant him a bond or whatever. Like, okay, he can grant him a bond, but then he don't have to post it until he's finished with his fair time. So if he's still fighting the case that long, then okay, yeah, he possibly would have got up. But it don't look like that's gonna happen, you guys. That's just the case he's shipping up. They keep saying like, Gucci man snitched. Yeah, he said this and that. Gucci snitching and dot. And Gucci saying he did. He said his security told. And that may be the case, but if you told or didn't tell, like what people were saying as far as, are you still street or is this business? Like for that to happen to you, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to do something? That's why, because I heard somebody even say something about like, oh, letting them out on bond, is that wise? It could be a slap in the face to Gucci. He might end up doing something. Like, come on now, you guys. If this happened, as they're saying it happened, those people have been out loose, living their life freely for the past 3 months, and he ain't did nothing to them. So you think that they're worried about if he gonna do something to them because if they get a bond? Like, come on. Like, sometimes let's just have some type of conversation. We can say this, we can say that. People say things all the time, but don't just keep talking out your a-hole. Right? Don't do that. But that's what I got right now for the Pooh Shiesty situation. Big brother. They might be cooked. They might not be. Who knows, right? But with them even having a notion of giving out bonds, and still possibility that they get one later. It's still not, out of the question that they would get one that's just pausing it for now, right? Or whatever they're doing, an investigation for. They may not get it, they might get it, later. But as of now, they're still there, and as of now, I don't think Shiesty has been in court, so don't have any update on him. As of yet, I know he's still being held down in Dallas. That's the only thing that's been said about him. With that being said, we coming down to the end of this, you guys. Like I said, this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna touch on a few topics. So I got one more thing I wanted to touch on. I don't know if I want to make this a ski thought, but I'm gonna use this. It's somewhat like that with this setting. So I have a thought about something that I saw. So I watched a video where there's a question that Joe Budden is asking his co-host on his show for a cut of the money that they make outside of the Joe Budden podcast because of the notoriety that they're getting from the show. Now, I got a thought about this, and my thought is, could two things be true with this situation, right? Can Joe be wrong for asking for a cut of what these people produce outside of what's going on his show? Or do he have a point, you guys, when it comes to the show actually bringing notoriety, which actually is bringing revenue in for them because they're part of this show? So, with those two scenarios that I just placed in front of you, it's just a thought of math. I can go either way. But I want to say that I'm kind of in the middle right now. My thought is that maybe this shouldn't have been asked now if it wasn't asked and the beginning of them signing their contracts, right? So if you got a notion of what's going on, this is just my thought on it. If you have a notion on what's going on, right? If they're gonna make some money off it, but it seems like now that you see, oh wow, you didn't think that they was gonna, leverage their notoriety off your show, which that's what they're there to do. That's the benefit of working or being on the Joe Budden podcast. I would think, is for them to leverage to be able to make money outside of there, as well as make money on there, right? And if you was foreseeing, then you would have understood that and put that in the contract when they signed on that anything that you make in perpetuity outside the show while you're on this show, I need to get a 15% cut, 20% cut, whatever you're asking for, right, of what you're making from the notoriety that you're getting from this show. So that's a ski thought, you guys. Hit the comments. Let me know what y'all thoughts are. Wish I could have put a poll on this, or I'm just gonna say a poll. What do y'all think? Is Joe wrong? Is Joe right? In the comments, post Joe right or Joe wrong. Let me know, and I will announce the numbers on the next Ski's Opinion. This has been another episode of that show I just mentioned before. With your gracious and humble host, Ski. Catch you guys on the flip side, and I am out.